keep telling you guys that Black Americans have no friends. For years when I used to do my live streams, I would come on and tell you that a lot of these immigrants, when they come to America, everything that we vote for, everything that we fight for is diametrically opposed to them, because their lifestyle is predicated on our destruction. Their lifestyle is predicated on us staying in the position that we're in. Not basically coming out, separating, delineating, building our own stuff, because they make money off of us, right? For years, they made money off of us. So they will never be allied with us. They will never be friends with us. Then on top of that, a lot of them are conditioned to be racist towards us, right? So there's cases going on now in courts across America where Latinos are being sued for racial discrimination against blacks on the work sites. Check it out.
What up, y'all? Y'all see these headlines? Right? This is the biggest case. Latinos allegedly abusing black employees. They end up settling out of court. I'm going to tell you that. They settled out of court. And when they went to go interview the black employees, they said that Latino workers were calling these and waving bananas at them, and everybody in the warehouse will laugh at them. And I know y'all going to say, oh, it's not all of them. Where it was a warehouse full of them. And 3 different companies. That's why this is considered one of the biggest lawsuits, biggest cases in California, right? And look, check this out. Even the attorney said that these cases are becoming more intense and more ugly. You could pause it and read it, right? Nooses, racial slurs. Now, if this was white people doing this to black people, this would be all over the news, right? This will be national news. I just don't understand why they don't report when it's minority against minority, right? If it was white people doing this, we'll hear about this. 3 different companies, and these Latinos, Hispanics, was in cahoots with white people. You see this? They were in cahoots with white supervisors, giving the black people the most, the hardest work, the hardest labor to compete, to do, right? Now, look at this though. 171 cases been settled. Racial discrimination, not only discrimination, but treating black people differently because of their race in Southern California. 171 cases within 10 years. What? And y'all talking about solidarity.
I've always been telling you guys that there's no black and brown coalition. We're not together. These people are not our friends. They come into America to make money and to work with their people. Now, the colorism within the Latino community is hardcore, right? You are, the lighter you are, the whiter you are, the better you are. That's just part of the culture. I know firsthand. Half of my family come from it, so I could be the one to tell you that they're not our friends. They've never been our friends. They have all kinds of disparaging things that they say about us. They call us lazy. They call us everything. So I'm not surprised that there was over 171 cases that's been settled, and there's more that's in the courts, right? And Dr. Claude Anderson told us, you think it's bad when we've been under the foot of these W folks. Wait till these Latinos get in here. They will never hire a black person, right? But you always got people that say, well, we was dropped off, we all came on the same ships. They just dropped us off in different places. They always come say this stuff. And they talk about this black and brown unity, right? You always have people talking like this.
The tension between the black and Latino community needs to stop. And we need to be the generation to stop it. Anti-blackness exists in our community. We know this. Anti-blackness also exists within the black community itself. All communities of color struggle with this. And the reason why is what we all have in common. We were all colonized and trained to have a mindset of you versus me for survival. But that ends with us. We need to lead with unity and not division. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to stop pointing the finger in both communities and make the decision that we are going to choose to be united versus divided. I'm not going to pretend like I have all the answers, but here are examples of how you can show up differently and be the change you want to see. Number 1, share stories of solidarity. Share stories of love. Share stories of when you have experienced the Black or Latino community showing up in your spaces. We need to shift the narrative. Number 2, if your reality is division between the Black and Latino community and your goal is unity, then it is up to you to seek out examples of when the Latino and Black communities show up for one another, where they show love, where...
And see, they always talk of this black and brown unity, but they don't practice that. Because this is the thing. We have some commonalities, we have some common things, but we also have things that set us apart, directly apart, where we can't unify, right? And they know that, right? We don't speak their language. We're not a part of their culture, right? They have a culture that unifies them with white folks, right? From the prisons to the workforce, they strive to be white, right? We don't get along. They don't like us because the same way our skin is our sin, it's the same way in those cultures, right? When you go into those Latino communities, the Afro-Latinos are treated like crap. They don't respect the Afro-Latinos, and they don't respect you. That's just the way it is. We would never, ever be friends. We would never be friends the way... Now, let me rephrase that, because the thing is, we accept everybody. We try to be cool with everybody, but they're not going to accept us. They never have, they never will. Especially when it comes to jobs. You think they're going to give you a job over their own people? You think they're going to hire you over their own people? It's not going to happen like that. Only we do stuff like that. They'll never do that. Until we wake up, we're not going to figure it out. And you have people within this democratic system, right, that know these court cases and stuff like this, but they won't talk about it. They won't talk about it because it go against their narrative. That's why they're working diligently to bring these immigrants in and replace you. We heard what former President Joe Biden said by 2050. Right? We're going to have to go to them for jobs. We're going to have to look to them. Right? They already was warning you, bringing this stuff in. So there's a lot of Afro-Latinos that's complaining about this as well. They're saying that they're not getting the proper representation within the Latino community because they're looked down upon for being black.
Are like Afro-Latinos just X'd out as well? Like, because I'm at this site and it's like I have to beg for hours because I don't look like the picture Hispanic, or because I don't look like what you want me to look like. Like, we're going through the most in this country right now, yet we still have time to pick and choose which ones we want to deal with. This is why people are able to separate this community. That's saying to me, I'm sitting down begging for hours pretty much. Walking around there, like when I go in finally, they walk around like this is their home, scheduling who they want to based on literal racism.
Okay, I wanted to address this comment real quick because it is very true. A lot of other Latin Americans who are not black think they're slick when they try to bash and talk down on Dominicans. Most of the stereotypes about Dominican people, such as we speak ghetto, our people are ghetto, we have bad hair, we're nothing but big butts, or, you know, all these other stereotypes they make about Dominican people, is in direct correlation to our blackness. These other Latin Americans who are not black are literally being blatantly racist to us. And what pains me more is when a Dominican person who is black, which is the majority, including mixed Dominicans who look black, don't claim their blackness. The self-hate is real. They're literally being racist to us.
So if these Latinos discriminate against the black Latinos in their own community, ones that look like me, what do you think they're going to do when they see the FBA family? What do you think going to happen? What do you think they're going to do? Right? And this is what they've been doing. I had a lot of the homies on the West Coast say how those Mexicans treat black people over there, right? I live in Philadelphia like a black conclave, but it's not anymore. You have Mexicans and Guatemalans and all of them coming over here, and they're cool right now until they get their numbers up. They're cool right now until they get their numbers up, but as they get their numbers up, they start talking like this.
Let me ask you one question. People are saying, especially the black people or Morenos, especially them, are saying that when you guys are legal, like you, for example, and you have a company, you won't hire nobody, especially black people. Is that true?
No.
Have you ever...
It doesn't matter race. If you want to work it for anybody.
All right, I beg to differ that because I've seen a lot of Hispanic with businesses. Hold on. I've seen a lot of Hispanic with business, and I don't see any black people working
Okay,
with
let me
them.
tell you one thing.
Yes.
Black America, they're really difficult to deal with.
Black people.
Respect.
Number one.
Yes.
They're kind of difficult. If you don't know the flow, the way they move.
Black American is difficult to work with.
If you know how to, I know them. You have to know the person, how it is and how they're thinking. Because you have a conversation depending on how the person is.
Yeah, come this way. The sun is kind of.
Becoming let you know.
Yes.
They're America. They have paper, okay?
Yes.
When you hire them, they know they're right. When you say do this, they get mad. They're strong. They're America.
I can't see you. Come on.
So-
I want you to say that again. What you say about it? Tell me
They're
now.
America.
Black Americans.
They're America. They know they're right.
How about Jamaicans?
Jamaica is Latino. It is different.
No, we're
Jamaica-
not Latino, really.
But-
We're black, just like.
No. Excuse me. It's black by color. We all color. Black is American. Black. We all black.
Yes.
Being in Jamaica, you are Latino because you Latin. You move from another country. By the way, immigrant. Anyway, it's not about that. Black America,
Yes.
they angry when they go to work. I'm telling the truth.
Yes. Let me hear the
you
truth.
tell them do this, they always they can do it, but they give you pay. You bring a Latino, they don't have no pay.
But one thing, you wouldn't expect somebody who is a citizen here work for a little bit of money like you guys. You wouldn't expect that. That's not fair to them.
But that's why they need to go get a job. They get prepared. If you know you're right. Why you still in that position?
But I heard that you guys will not work for less than $200 a day. Is that true?
Okay, yes I do. You go to McDonald's, you need $15, $20 till you get a meal. How can you work when you have 3 kids and you pay $1,000 rent a month, 3 kids to feed them, clothes, shoes, a right to go to school, babysitter when they get out of school.
True, but beggars.
What you gonna do with $100? $100 is nothing. So you catch it up, it's gone.
I believe you but beggars are not choosers. If you don't have the right papers to work, then you should be able to choose.
Listen, that's just back in the 80s. We not a slave. It doesn't matter you got a paper, legal or not legal work.
So they're not hiding nothing. They're not mixing words. They put it right in front of your face. And this is what your Democratic Party wants to bring into this country. They want to bring these people in. This is how they talk about you at the dinner table. This is how they talk about you on the job. This is how they talk about you in the club. They don't like you. They don't want to work with you. They think that you're lazy. They think that they think that you're unruly. They think that you're disrespectful. You're uncultured. You're everything. They have any negative notion that they can think of. You fit the description. This is the way that they view you. And I've been blowing the whistle trying to explain to my people forever. These people are not our friends, man. So when you guys go and say, well, this is who you voted for. If you'd have voted for the Democrats, they wouldn't have been as harsh. But they'd have brought all these people in that already don't like you, to outnumber you, where they be a larger voting block, where now you a third-class citizen. That's what they're aiming to do. These are not your friends. You keep thinking that everybody's your friend. Because in your community, you don't have things where you rely on your own people for things. They know this, so they take advantage of it until they don't need you no more. Because once they start getting their numbers up and they outnumber you, they don't need you. They can live off their own people here in the country. Man, listen, we got to wake up, man. They playing a game, man. And the Democrats is catering to them to make them a larger voting block so they don't have to cater to you no more. They don't owe you nothing no more. This is what they're doing. And they bringing in loads and loads and loads of these people. So now if they brought in 20 million, but Trump only get out 5, the other 15 million come in, they have babies. In the next 15 years, what is that going to look like? Man, it's crazy, man. Like I just, for life of me, I just don't understand our people sometimes, man. Y'all so asleep at the wheel, you don't get it. I'm not a Trump supporter at all. I don't rock with none of them. I don't care. They all can kick rocks to me. But your dislike for Trump so much, you're blinded by the Democrats. You really believe that they're your friends. And then on top of that, a lot of my FBA family, a lot of my people out there, right? A lot of my people out there, my Black American family, my people, right? We scream W supremacy and racism so much, but you willing to overlook that Kamala had a W husband? Oh, so the only racist is on the radical right. The radical left ain't racist? All of them are. Look at the policies. Look at what they're doing. Look at how it's affecting us. They have all these programs in place that when the Republicans come in and remove those programs, you have no plan of action to do anything for yourself. You think the Democrats didn't know that? The Democrats want you solely dependent upon government when you can't do nothing for yourself. Nothing. So you cry about affirmative action and DEI. I know those programs were set in place because of racism. I get it. I get it. But at some point, at what point are we going to be self-sufficient where other groups don't get to treat us the way that they do? Democratic Party has shown that you can't do that with Democrats. You can't do it with Republicans. We got to do it with ourselves, man. We don't have no friends. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far and if you don't hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till next time. Peace.